you've touched on it before, is that Kieran Cunningham is no more. So hopefully, with guys like Sean Long at the helm, there'll be some stability at the club.
Or at least excitement.
More exciting rugby league. So people are going to get their wishes, because this has been the theme coming out of Saints fans for a number of weeks, nay, months now, is let's please play some exciting rugby. And,
we thought with the Warrington game and flashes in the Salford game, although Salford were the better team overall in that game, there was attacking flashes, and we thought they were starting to get more expansive, but obviously that went away with this, because all the numbers, all the things you see from this game are what we've been seeing, apart from Luke Douglas had a decent effort by the looks of it, but obviously it wasn't enough. There was something behind it, and we'll get to that, I think, actually.
All the pieces are there at St Helens for this club, this team, this squad of players to be way more successful than it is. So I do think it comes down to Kieran Cunningham's great player, poor coach.
Yeah,
look at that back line, look at that pack. The sum of those parts should be greater than what we're seeing at the moment.
There's been a few underperformers, but not tons of underperformers for St Helens this season, has there?
No.
I agree. I think one of the things that you have to remember, and we all have to remember as fans of all of these clubs, is as Super League hopefully becomes more consistently competitive, you can't win everything every year. You can't get into the top 4 every year, or the top 2 every year, or what have you. But if you're going to be not getting there, be entertaining still.
Yeah.
And, Wigan, we were able to get over the lack of entertainment for large swathes of last year by, being more entertaining in the 8s and winning. St Helens in 2014 were able to get over the dirge by winning.
They were a machine, weren't they? So, yeah, that worked out well for them. So, stats-wise, what do we have on this one?
More carries than in any game so far this season, so you'd expect more action than the 9 total breaks and the 6 total tries, evenly shared out the tries. Saints had the extra break, 162 more metres, an impressive 1.3 metres per carry, better average game, but couldn't take advantage. One major reason why was probably the 17-10 error count against them.
Cracking stuff. Okay, so for St Helens, who stood out?
Adam Swift with a try, 211 running metres. Zeb Tyre with 2 try assists and 100 running metres, 2 clean breaks and 3 successful offloads, so a threat out there on that left edge from those guys. Alex Walmsley 183 metres, Johnny Lomax 160 metres, Luke Douglas 128 metres.
Okay, so for Huddersfield, who look good?
Well, Darnell McIntosh 2 tries, 110 metres, Lee Gaskell a try assist, 118 metres, probably like the most running. Him and Albert Kelly are like a different breed of half, aren't they, compared to most of what we see most of the league at the moment. Jeremy Gilvery 6 tackles, 135 metres, and Sebastien Ikahihifa 115 metres, and Alex Mellor 105 metres.
Okay, so Warrington Wolves on Friday night got themselves off the bottom of the table, courtesy of a 25 points to 14 victory over an improving Leeds Rhinos team in front of 10,035 at the HJ.
Yeah, I've thrown this in the wrong order because the Wakefield game alphabetically should have come first. I don't know how I've done that, sorry. But Mitchell Darts...
We would have had tweets about that if you hadn't mentioned it.
Mitchell Darts says, really nice for Leeds to do a solid for Tony Smith and give him the first win of the season. After that attempt to stop the kick towards the end of the game, Hull certainly looks like he wants to move into the back row.
There we go. See, I keep saying it. Colin Renderson, I said at the start of the game that Wire on paper shouldn't be where they are. They were the better team on the night with a few mitigating factors that helped them get the 2 points. It's usually dirty Leeds, but tonight Wire get that tag. Westwood's late shot, Sims intentionally standing on Cuthbert's hand, and a shoulder charge in the second half from another Wire player.
At Tom Eckley 99. Wait, hold on. We'll get to the Westwood thing as we go along, I think. But let's not forget that a Leeds player has been charged for dangerous contact, hyperextending the shoulder joint, I think it will have been, on Darryl Clark by Jimmy the Kind Horse. So, that happened.
So that's fair play.
I don't think Sims actually stood on Cuthbert's, and I think he just got really close to doing so, and then they had a bit of a laugh about it afterwards.
Yeah, they did seem to be friends, but
certainly we'll get to
Westwood.
To Westwood after we've heard some more views on it. Tom Eckley 99 said, I would greatly appreciate it if someone could urgently sign Mr. Brown before he inevitably takes my hero Deck's place in the squad.
Okay.
Declan Patton was good, weren't
he? Yeah, but and again we'll get back to that, but thank God he's back in the squad, because he'd been on the fringes of it for a while. Yeah, exactly. But look at what happens when he comes in. He's a cracking player. Elliot Wrench, well, that was in general better. Got that elusive win. Ratchford is a safe pair of hands. Sims is a powerhouse, sapping the Leeds energy. Rhinos got extra lucky, and Nick to try to put Rhinos back on the front foot, I guess he means. No one stood out for Leeds, but Darren Maguire's 400.
I think Rhino is a nickname for Ryan Atkins.
It
doesn't matter if I've scored a legitimate try, I'll celebrate anyway. It's up to you to take him off me, Ryan Atkins.
You've got to stop bearing a grudge, man.
No, I'm not bearing a grudge. He did it twice in this game, didn't he?
I haven't seen him do it.
Well, Matty Russell put one... Not Matty Russell, sorry. Tom Lyman put one dead.
Right.
That Atkins got to after it was touched down by... Tom Briscoe, and Atkins got up like he scored because, why wouldn't he? And he knocked, and the first try that was given turned out to be a knock on, but none of the officials spotted it live, and he got up and celebrated. So
look, ordinarily I'd say, the professional sportsmen, they're trying to create a professional advantage, but it does seem to be this thing that just I don't see other people doing it particularly.
Not quite so exuberantly and positively.
Exactly.
He's affirmative in his celebration rather than sort of half questioning whether he should celebrate.
He's dabbing.
There's never a question mark, is there?
No, it absolutely makes it look like he's just won the World Cup. Okay, so apologies, Elliot, I got caught up there. He goes on to say, no one stood out for Leeds but Darren Maguire's 400th game. Congrats. Super Ben stood out for Wire. Oops, lucky it was only a yellow. Entertaining, yes.
Wire Joe said, a much needed win despite needing a couple of contentious decisions to get us over the line. I can't defend Westwood at all. He'd been passive for a couple of seasons for me, and he definitely should have gone in terms of, I guess, in the game. Deck Patton's kicking was brilliant, and his influence dragged everyone else to a high level of intensity and commitment. I just hope Tony Smith took notice and he keeps his place in the team even when Brown is fit.
Yes. Cutthroat Jake, Westwood should have seen red, and Atkins' second try should have been wiped off. However, Leeds didn't deserve the win. Our tactical kicking was dreadful. Moon offers a great running threat from standoff, but we still don't have someone capable of grabbing the game by the scruff of the neck. Basically, without Sinfield's game management, we struggle to be more than an average team.
Brian Davies said Benny Westwood could be in trouble. He's got a grade D charge, so it's 3 to 5 games, more than likely there. The loss of Sutcliffe was massive, as in-game injuries to key players often are. Reminded me of the stories from old players who went out to sort out the opposition key man early on. Not saying Westwood was deliberate, but it was reckless and very significant in terms of the result. Having said that, great to see Wire finally get a win and get off the bottom.
Rich Wilkinson says, tough game for Leeds. Many would cry ref's fault, but you have to roll with the punches. Wire are desperate.
It's an exclamation for the joke there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Wire are desperate and got the result they needed at all costs. Hopefully a bump in the road for Leeds. Both teams gave it their all, but as a spectacle, it was average.
Before we get to the spoofy fun of soap opera for men, back to Brian Davies. Because that's helped remind me of Dargana's, complete absence of sending a match report in, but during the game he got a lot of conversation going about whether it was deliberate or not, and I think he thought it was from Westwood. I don't think any player's stupid enough to be that viciously deliberate to start the game. I also don't think Sutcliffe is a key man. He was only starting this game because of Leeds Rhinos' own grubbery of Brett Ferris last week. Got himself out of the starting lineup, but in-game injuries are a key factor. We do talk about this. So I thought I'd cover that off. But yeah, the grade D charge is a 3 to 5 game, and I was surprised that the RFL went that high on the grade, but it certainly makes it suggest. Not that I don't think it's the right grade, because it was high, it was late, it was blatantly a red card. I don't know how it was missed.
No, it's an ugly looking thing, and I think the grade is as high as it is because the red card was missed, to be perfectly honest with you.
Yeah. I
think that might be the way that they're making up for that, which is fine by me because he should have been off the field. So why not pay that price later on?
Yeah, certainly. Soap opera for men said, Child is a fucking cheat or a cuntard. Defo the latter. When is a red not a red? When a Wire knocks out a Rhino to gain an advantage. Tony Smith tactic from the 2012 Grand Final, question mark. Oh yeah, because Benny Westwood got his nasty shot. No, that was the 2013 Grand Final, wasn't it?
Well, he puts a lot of nasty shots in.
When's a knock-on not? When it's a fucking Wire try? When it's changing direction to stand on a player's hand just on report? Someone saw it. to put it on report, fucking idiot, simbing all day. Hashtag couldn't give a fuck if child is straight or gay or bi. He can't ref for shit. Hashtag ref's fault.
Well, the important thing, soap opera for men, is that you're taking this all in your stride, mate. I would say, bravo. Tyler Cass fan said Wire finally get a win this season, but they had quite a bit of luck go their way. Lucky to still have 13 on the pitch after 1 minute, and lucky not to have a Ryan Atkins try chalked off. You could also argue it was luck that Dec Patton was playing. Smith wouldn't have picked him if Brown was fit. Leeds need to fix their right edge defence before Friday, or it will be another tough day for them.
Lee Whitnell said, finally, absolutely brilliant to get the win, but we were lucky not to be playing the whole game with 12 men. Thought Ben's tackle was fucking disgraceful and stupid. Leeds withstood a lot of goal line pressure, but we need to find the guile to be able to take better advantage of multiple repeat sets. They had 7 goal line dropouts, did Wire. Patton was the difference for us. Gidley or Brown with Patton going forward, Tony Smith.
I suspect not, but I agree with you, Lee. Paul Ludo Lewis, what a surprise. Oh, God. What a surprise. Just in time for the Cheshire Derby. Wire pick up form. Unlike a Tom Crook relationship status update, we all saw this coming. Thank you, Paul. However, for the second week in a row, a referee bowls sending off a player from the home side, which could have made all the difference. The only plus side is the disciplinary will make sure that Super Benny, face like a burst Hoover bag Westwood, misses the witness game.
He will, yeah. Brendan Loftus, at BP Loftus, has the last word on this one. He says, just one thing to say really, Westwood should have been sent off. Forget all the rubbish about when in the game it was. Late, high, pretty much premeditated, I reckon too. Pity really is it did detract from Wire's first win of the league season.
Yes, it does. This is the thing that we're talking about, but actually I think Wire played well to beat Leeds. I think Leeds coming into this probably were slight favourites, and I'm really glad. I was happy to see Dec Patton back in the side. I like this kid as a player.
The left-footed drop goal, I think that's pretty sweet to be able to adjust and on your weak
switch
foot
and go and do
that so naturally.
The kid's a naturally talented player, and the problem is that there is so much salary cap on Gidley and Brown that I think Smith is almost in a position where he can't not play them if they're fit.
Yeah.
Almost. Now, whether
he felt pressure to replace Sandow, but didn't really...
No, they snatched at someone though, didn't they? That's the thing, and I think that was what happened with them. I feel like they should have trusted Dec Patton's development a bit more. Whether or not there's something behind the whole Dec Patton not being in the team thing, beyond the fact that he isn't Kev Brown or Kurt Gidley, I would question whether or not, in fact, being a youngster and playing so well, maybe there was an attitudinal thing that Tony Smith wanted to just iron out a little bit. Although maybe. He doesn't necessarily seem keen to do it with other players. And Savelio isn't one he particularly seems to be bothered about, who acts like John P. Large.
Well, yeah, has he?
Well, yeah, true, he dropped him, hasn't he? So maybe that's what he's doing. Maybe he's sort of ironing out some of the kinks in these kids' attitudes a little bit. But for me, Dec Patton pretty much should be the first name on the team sheet at the minute if you're looking to dig yourself out of trouble at Warrington. I know that's a lot of pressure on a young man's shoulders, but he certainly lived up to it in this game, and it was a game where Warrington were going in without a win all season, and he basically orchestrated a victory for them.
Yeah, he was very influential. I thought Warrington overall were the better side in this. If you put aside the claiming tries that weren't and the obvious shocking clothesline. I mean, how else do you describe it? I suppose it's late, it's high, it's
ugly as fuck. It was
powerful,
it was
contact. It was nasty. I don't know how they didn't give a red card for it, because it wasn't like he was reaching. It wasn't like he hadn't lined him up, sort of thing. I don't think he'd gone out to deliberately catch him high. I think he wanted to catch him late, but not high.
Yeah,
because he doesn't want to get sent off because he knows that's damaging to his team. He knows he'll get a ban and that sort of stuff. Players, I think, are aware of that, but execution's off, especially when you're not in the bloom of youth.
Yeah, James Child bottled the call.
Definitely.
For me, he absolutely bottled the call, and I think if
he's not done that previously.
No, he hasn't. I mean,
he talked about how he's been willing to get his cards out.
He absolutely has, and that's why I was surprised to see him do it. And
no red cards so far this season, and we've seen a couple of incidents in the last couple of weeks. Leeds on the receiving end this week, on the beneficial end last week, that should have been seen more harshly than they were.
Yeah, absolutely. But no, again, it shouldn't matter where it happened in the game, but I think if it had happened in the 65th minute, you'd have seen Benny Westwood walking. But because of how early it was, the pressure got to James Child, and he fluffed his lines. But take nothing away from Warrington, they deserve the win in this.
I think so. I think whilst Leeds defended really strongly, I actually think they didn't give Warrington much. Warrington still won almost every contact that they made.
Yeah.
They were better